we're going to talk about profits and people and philosophy as well as economics. But I want to begin with the economics just for the basic understanding that what profits are equal to is the total revenue minus total cost. And if you are in favor of profit maximization, you are necessarily in favor of cost minimization, because if you can minimize your costs, then you can maximize your efficiency, which helps your productivity, which helps increase revenue, which helps increase profits. And if you want to, let's say, help the environment, if you're environmentally friendly, you also should therefore be in favor of profit maximization or cost minimization, because costs are inefficiencies. And so to eliminate costs, certain costs, you can maximize profits as well as help the productivity and efficiency, and in essence reduce wasted resources, which are a part of the environment. So this all is in the profit maximization equation. And if we're looking at the graph of this, what we have is the price on the y-axis, the quantity on the x-axis, and we have our marginal cost, which initially slopes downward, and then at a point it slopes upward. We have our marginal revenue, which is a horizontal line, and then where the marginal revenue and marginal cost intersect is our equilibrium quantity that should be produced in order to maximize our profits. And with this, this is, the economic theory for profits. But what does profits mean when it comes to people and philosophy? In the real world, people aren't basing their lives off graphs or equations. What people do is they demonstrate what they prefer, and their choices, will always be subjective in value, but there are winners and losers in not only industry, but in competition. But it comes back to the individual choice of what is a profitable choice for you. And I think what this means is, what is something that's positive for your life? If you choose to become an entrepreneur and venture out onto that journey, however that looks for you, whether it's starting a business of some sort or seeking out whatever it is you desire, is that something that's profitable? Well, there's always costs to incur, opportunity costs. You're forsaking something when you choose something. And profits, to me, is this a positive influence, impact on your life, or is this hindrance? And if it's a negative, that could be a loss. And there is losses to take in life. But there always have to be choices that have to be made. And if you can make the choices that are to maximize your own pursuit of happiness, then those are profitable. And I don't think anyone can say what it is exactly that you should do or what will be most profitable to you, because that again is all subjective. Well, where do we go from here? Let's talk about money and how this relates to profits. Sure, if you sell a product way above the cost of it, you're going to be making profits. But is it money in the accumulation of money that is what is profitable to an individual in the philosophical sense? How much money I can have, how much wealth I can attain? Or is there something beyond money that's important to someone's life? Let's say starting a family, or becoming an artist of some sort, or initiating a pursuit of exploration that has not been pursued to the degree someone would have liked to in their life. So profits exist beyond the economic theory of money making in revenue and cost. Um, so in history, there has been a debate between, Ayn Rand and Immanuel Kant, where Rand called Kant one of the worst people to ever exist or something like that. But what she was talking about was in her philosophy of profit. She's saying that to become a value-filled individual, you have to attain profits, and this is attaining positive aspects of your life that you find value in, and that could be just attaining. I'm not exactly sure, but going to Immanuel Kant, he said that people should not charge prices for things that are unfair. And again, that's just subjective. If you look at the economics, the subjective subjective theory of value is saying that people exchange on the margins for what they deem to prefer subjectively. That's why when people exchange, a pencil for $1, they value the pencil over their additional dollar, whereas the person who's selling a pencil, he might have a whole X quantity amount of pencils. Therefore, in order to make money and use that money to pay for other goods, he will sell a pencil for that amount of money. And that's just subjective to each individual. But Immanuel Kant said that there shouldn't be prices charged unfairly. And again, it's like, well, what if someone's willing to pay that price for it? Who's to say that this price is unfair? And this was interesting. I had a professor who, she was teaching the class this, and I was like, okay, but who is to say that? As well, she's like, well, I don't think I've ever sold anything in my life. But that's false, because she, as a professor, is employed by a college, a university, and she's, charging a price for her labor. She's selling her body in order to teach at the front of the classroom to students, and she's getting compensated in the form of a wage. And so in essence, she is charging a price, what she's willing to take in exchange for her labor to be there. And to her, that's a profitable venture. So she is selling her body in some sorts. But let's go deeper into this philosophy of selling one's body. Thaddeus Russell in 2013 had a great talk at like the New Hampshire convention of something, and he's talking about this. It's a great talk. I recommend it. You can find it on YouTube. Where he was like, why is sex sacred? Someone is literally just selling their own body, but when it comes to sex, it's this intimate thing, and it comes from the Puritan values. The Puritan work ethic come in hand with the other pillar, which is the anti-sex ethic, which goes hand in hand with the nuclear family ethic. And when you put your body in someplace, whether to work or pursue your hobby, I guess specifically when you're working, you're selling your body. And I guess we'll dive deeper into the concept of sex and the Puritan work ethic and nuclear family ethic another time. But I think just a way to live your life is just do what's profitable to you. And if it's doing drugs and pursuing your pleasures, you find that profitable, then that's your decision. And I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. And I think in essence, don't get focused on making all the money you can in the world, even though that is, economically, in the pure monetary sense, profitable. Is that profitable in the human being sense? Are you willing to sell your soul for all the money in the world? Are you willing to give up love in other aspects, not just interpersonal aspects, but in passion and pleasure-seeking aspects of your life, just to obtain higher amounts of revenue? And that's something that you got to question all the time. Thank you.